Welcome all to Off the Cuff with Namrita, and I'll start with a quote today. It's impossible, said pride. It's risky, said experience. It's pointless, said reason. Give it a try, whispered the heart. And I'm so glad that my guest today listened to his heart and followed his passion for filmmaking and photography. And also, if he hadn't, I'm sure we both wouldn't have been here today because I have no clue about tech sector. So I'm glad that it worked out really well. And welcome, Anil, to Off the Cuff.
Thank you, Namrita. It's a pleasure to be here.
And a little bit more about Mr. Anil Gaur. For more than 30 years, Anil has been an IT executive by profession and a filmmaker at heart. Photography and filmmaking have been his passion since childhood. Anil is also passionate about turning people's aspirations and dreams into reality. He is the founder and CEO of Random Drifts entertainment platform. Anil is highly regarded in the tech industry as transformational technology leader for building cloud application infrastructures, distributed systems, and large-scale SaaS products. So, a very accomplished person, and I'm so humbled to have him here on the show. So, Anil, straight away, my first question is: you've had, and stupendous success in your tech work and career. So, what made you take a path less, taken by engineers?
Yeah, so I'll have to tell you something about me and how I'm unique in my family.
Okay.
So in my family, pretty much everybody can dance, everybody can sing, some can act. I was not good at any of those.
Oh.
So I thought it's probably best for me to do something behind the camera, So, so that's partially true. There is more to it. I spent more than 30 years in tech, and I think I did reasonably well, from whatever criteria we use for success, we checked off many of those.
Yeah.
But what I felt, that something was still lacking, वही गाना है ना कि सब कुछ यही है फिर भी कुछ कमी है. So ऐसा लगता था कि कुछ तो कमी है. And since childhood, I wanted to be a filmmaker.
Wow.
But growing up in India, you have to be an engineer, doctor, or your life is kind of in a mess. So with all those things going on, I became an engineer, came to US, everything was going well. But this dream, this passion of doing something behind the camera was always there. And I think we always keep pushing these things, we'll get to it next year, 2 years from now. But pandemic was, the year that made me realize, can't take life for granted. Things can happen anytime. So that was one. And then if you remember, those days, a lot of depression, gloomy, sentiment, and we had fires in the Bay Area. So I realized, Namrita, that it's not just me, with those dreams and, can't realize. There's so many other people, who can take risks, but they would love to have an opportunity to pursue their passion if we had the resources, the tools, the infrastructure to support them. And that became the trigger point for me to launch Random Drifts, just to not just to pursue my passion, but to help everybody else who had a similar passion.
That is such a wonderful, thing that you've started to know, and I've had the pleasure of working with you and collaborating with you. So a little bit more about Random Drifts, because what I like about that platform, and you said that you are gluing the community together. You are calling so many people who want to do something in the creative arts but are unable to do. So you tell me a little bit how it started and what all have you done so far?
Yeah, so we launched this platform about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And this was the peak of pandemic, when we had to take all the precautions, wearing masks and all. So what we have been able to do, we have, been able to help hundreds of people in Bay Area, so that they can pursue their passion, whether it's in singing, dancing, acting, music composition, So this platform, I mean, is unique in a way. It's not for accomplished actors. It's for people who have this desire, who have this patience, and want to do something without having to leave their job or family. Go to Hollywood or Bollywood. So there's so many people around us. So we have been able to connect with them, enrich their lives, and some things I expected from the platform, others were totally like, oh my God, So we have worked with people in ages from 9 to 80.
Yes,
wow. And what I've heard from them that, hey, Anil, all my life I wanted to do this. All my life, I carried this thought and I wanted to express it, but, I didn't feel comfortable. There was no platform. So giving them that environment, not just, the technology-wise, but where they felt comfortable expressing themselves. I mean, when they said it, like, it brought tears in my eyes, 80-year-old, like, all my life, I never thought I would be able to express myself that way, So we have done short films, we have done music videos, we have done documentaries, we have done web series, so we've tried various formats, and, most of the people that we work with had zero experience in anything, so working with them, it was just an amazing
I know, and he's just being humble, and he's got, I think, millions of hits on his YouTube videos, especially Mile Sur Mera Tumhara NRI version. Please look at it on YouTube. It's just marvelously shot, visual treat, sung very well by local singers, and local people around the neighborhoods have taken part, and it's become a huge hit worldwide. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And he's also done a lot of work for non-profits. So his work is going beyond just entertainment. He's touching lives of so many people. And my question was, because you were so successful as a in the tech, what kind of knowledge that you apply from your previous career to this very creative and fluid career now?
Yeah, so I think there are several common threads that I have used in my tech career as a creative artist, and now I'm using what I learned in the tech to apply here. It's about storytelling. As a leader, if you're leading an organization, how do you bring people on board, right? You start with a vision that you share with the organization, right? You chart out a path, you motivate them to join that journey. You paint the success and you celebrate that success, when you get there. Marketing is all about storytelling, right? Marketing job. As a product engineer, product manager, you're always pitching, something, and you have to paint the story. So I felt like, if you look at all of this from a director's eyes, as a storyteller, there's so many things that are in common that we can apply from one domain to another domain.
Very true, very true. And whatever I've known of you, you are a very good storyteller. You're a great photographer, and you're a people person.
I push myself outside comfort zone. So you say I'm a people person. I'm like very introvert kind of person.
I know, mera bhi yahi haal hai.
And with what we are doing, I have no choice but to interact with people and all. And it's just amazing. I mean, if you think of it, there is nothing more satisfying to you than helping people, working with people, and when you see the joy in their face, I mean, that sticks. That satisfaction sticks.
I think that gratitude shows, and. Whatever you're doing, keep pushing the envelope. You're doing great, I'll say. And one more thing, because I've worked with you also, you're very patient behind the camera, but you're very strict, about retakes. So, what have you learned about human psychology, while working with amateurs like us? It requires a lot of patience.
That's a great question. And something I learned, like everybody, I would say 99% of the people that I work with, when I work with them, they think they are the worst actor or, speaker, and, so everybody feels like, I mean, if you're doing a group project, they'll think my portion would be the worst, and that's never the case. So it's like having that self-confidence in yourself, I felt is necessary. And I've seen in my experience that people we work with, like, it takes about 2 to 3 settings, and the third setting, they become like 100% comfortable, and the camera basically becomes invisible, and then they can be, you know, themselves. So I feel like it's the lesson of life that, you know, reflects in this, like where people tend to focus too much on what's lacking in them versus the strengths they have. So I feel like they need to be reminded of, like, hey, you are good at these things, you know. So capitalize on your, you know, strengths, not focus too much on your, you know, shortcomings. So that, you know, I've seen over and over, and I keep reminding people that, hey, you know, keep going.
What a wonderful answer, I'll say. And, you know, yeah, I can see that you're a great motivator, and you're very compassionate and empathetic, I'll say, because anybody can lose patience, you know, working with people like us who are just scared of looking at the camera, to tell you the truth. हम radio वाले बोलते तो बहुत है, but जैसे, and for many people too, you know, they'll be comfortable just talking, but as soon as you switch the camera on, you're like stuttering.
There's some fog that appears in the brain,
That's
and like
true.
and they lose their, you know, it's there, but you know, you need to be patient, as you said, you know. Just so once you realize there's no perfection, if you're like comparing you with someone else, you know, it becomes very hard. So once you know, like, okay, I just have to give my best, and that's it, you know. So that takes the pressure off. And once you start enjoying the journey without having to worry about the outcomes or the results, you know, the whole process becomes so much easier, and you start getting satisfaction out of what you're doing.
Yeah, I understand. I think you just need to be in the moment and just forget about the camera, I think. And, you know, like Anil said, do your best, you know. Your best could, you know, that's what you can do. And no comparisons.
Try, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. You know, you are yourself. You can only be the best version of yourself. If you try to be someone else, no, it won't work.
And I think, yes.
And think of like big stars, like, you know, Amitabh Bachchan, you know, Shah Rukh Khan, or Vidya Balan, my favorite actress, you know. They all require retakes, right? It's not like they're done in one. So even polished actors need it. It's like, why can't you require retakes or some coaching or, you know, that mentoring?
Very true. And Vidya Balan is such a great actor, you know, actress. And she was rejected like 20 times before she got her first film, or even more, I think. So, you know, take rejections also, I'll say.
Amitabh Bachchan was rejected from a radio show. You know, he was told that his voice is no good for radio.
Oh my God.
That's how it became actor.
So I think everybody, Lata Mangeshwar was told, you know, her voice is very thin. So, you know, that. So I guess Random Drifts is a platform you all can turn to. Please get in touch with Anil Gaur. And Anil, where can people find you if they have to, you know, get in touch and do something, collaborate with Random Drifts?
So we are on all social media platforms. So you just search for Random Drifts, you'll find us. Our website is randomdrifts.us, so you can reach out to us. And you can be any sort of visual artist, you know, singing, dancing, you know, acting, aspiration for any of these, and we can help sharpen your skills and give you the platform and the tools you need to showcase yourself as an artist in front of the audience worldwide.
Okay, and one more thing is that, you know, you've already done so much of work, but anything that you'd love to do, any project that is in your mind, would you like to share the future projects for Random Drifts? Yeah,
so we have tried various formats, and we strive to try more. I mean, eventually I would love to do like a full-length, you know, feature film on some meaningful project. And many times, you know, as I said, this is a community platform. So these ideas don't necessarily come from me. So like you can reach out to me, like, Anil, I have this story or this script or this idea, you know, can we build on it? So we have done projects like that in the past, and we would do more of those. So it's all about doing something as your local community, you know, building that community. And I have seen that, you know, in the, you know, when we were all like down in the pandemic or those times, you know, the human emotions are contagious, you know, when we go in that spiral of like nothing is going well, and then one person starts like, hey, let's do this, and they come together to do it. So we look for ideas from anywhere. Anybody can reach out to us, and if it's satisfying, you know, to them and makes sense for the, you know, broader community, we'll take it on.
He's a team player. That's all I have to say, and especially being in a creative field, especially filmmakers and directors can get very, exclusive. But that's what I like about Random Drifts, that it is open to all kinds of people with all kinds of talent, I'll say. And now coming to your career, as an angel investor, Anil, you do have a passion in coaching and mentoring the executive leaders, and your contributions have made huge impact on bootstrapping and scaling up many startups and enterprise organizations. So, any advice for the young startup owners?
My advice would be, follow your heart. If you really want to try something, try it today. Don't wait. Okay. There are people who will tell you there are, 100 reasons why your project, your idea might fail. But I always remind them there's one thing, why it will not fail and why you will be successful. Cling on to that. Don't give up. There is no such thing as failure. You only fail when you give up. If you keep trying, startups require, a lot of patience, perseverance, right? And you need to have a good team around you, because no single person can accomplish everything by themselves, right? So you might be an engineer at heart, you might be a marketing person or salesperson. So you need to have a good team. And that's where, I kind of bring that wisdom, because certain things, you can only learn when you go through that, right? So you build something 1.0 and then in 2.0, like what not to do, right? I've learned this in the product or building architecture. So same thing applies to, startups. So having a good team makes all the difference. Yeah. Do not hesitate to ask for help. That's another thing humans do. You feel like if I ask, people will think I'm weak. No, nobody can do everything by themselves. So irrespective of whether it's a startup or wherever you're in the career, ask for help and offer help. I mean, it goes, both ways. And you'll see the satisfaction you get from both ends, like it's just unbelievable.
Wonderful advice, I'll say. And Anil, as you know, you are in the Bolly studios.
Yes.
And we have to talk a little bit about Bollywood, right? And what I saw of your YouTube videos is that you made a series, I guess I'll say, Dieting Kalse.
Dieting Kalse, yeah, it was a short film, yeah.
And usme you're not behind the camera, you're in front of the camera. You're playing the lead, who's obsessed with Amitabh Bachchan. So if you could just say a dialogue of Amitabh Bachchan, but I'm going to give you a twist here. Because one thing, as far as people close to you have a beautiful, supportive wife, and you love her very much, but you're also obsessed with one more thing.
Okay.
And that is Raj Kachori.
Raj Kachori, you have to bring it up. Now like I'm craving for one.
आपको इंटरव्यू कर रही हूँ तो मैं वो आएगी. तो जाते जाते ऐसा कोई डायलॉग अमिताभ का हो जो आप बोल सके और उसमें आप राज कचौरी भी यूज कर लें बीच में. तो I guess I think all your fans and will enjoy listening to that.
Okay. Amitabh Bachchan. By the way, I had to be on screen because I had to lead by example, right? So people like, you should push yourself outside your comfort zone. So I did it. So Amitabh Bachchan, I mean, I love this guy. There's so much to learn and inspire, not just as an actor but as an individual, right? So one dialogue, if I had to pick, मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. मैं और मेरी तन्हाई अक्सर ये बातें करते हैं. तुम होती तो ऐसा होता, तुम होती तो वैसा होता, तुम होती तो मेरी फालतू बातों पे हंसती, तुम होती तो मुझे प्यार से वो राज कचौरी खिलाती, तुम होती तो न जाने क्या क्या होता.
ब्यूटीफुल. चलो राज कचौरी तो वैसे ही मिलती रहेगी,
बड़ी मुश्किल से मिलती है.
तो देखिए बहुत मजा आया. वैसे मैं तो कह रही हूँ अमिताभ is everybody looks up to Amitabh, I'll say, and you're not an exception. So this was a wonderful short conversation, a spontaneous conversation, just like I said, off the cuff. You just speak your heart out here. And any last words, Anil, and we'll wind up.
Yeah, so my last words again, I mean, join the platform. Random Drifts, we are here for you. We don't ask for any money, we don't pay money. Our currency is love, and time and patience. So if you have that, whatever passion you have, join us. I promise it'll be fulfilling experience, and fun thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil, and I can definitely vouch for Random Riff's team. The entire team is wonderful, and if you have any aspirations as a writer, as an actor, as a singer, please do contact Anil Gaur and Random Riffs. They are on all social medias. Check out their YouTube videos whenever you get time. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead because it's a Sunday, I'll say. And thank you, Anil, for joining me on Off the Cuff.
Shosha is a creative Indian restaurant located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Shosha is a woman-owned business that serves traditional Indian flavors assimilated with molecular gastronomy techniques. The best Indian bar with happy hours in the Bay Area serves handcrafted drinks inspired by flavors from India with modern craft cocktails that are presented in unique ways. Shosha is a modern take on traditional Indian cuisine. We specialize in corporate luncheon, anniversary celebrations, birthday parties, and catering. Do check us out for a memorable modern Indian dining experience. Shosha is located at 141 South Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale, California.